Hi everyone and welcome back. I'm Emily and this is my YouTube channel, The Simple Stitcher. It's the 3rd of September? No, 2nd of September at 10 to 8. I've just got home seeing to my animals and I'm organising my dinner. And basically I hadn't done my weekly update this week yet. I didn't get a chance on the weekend, and so I wanted to get it done tonight, but I thought what I would do is while I'm organising my dinner, I'd do my life update, and then and if you're not interested in a life update, I will put in the description box below the time that I start the stitching update. So because it's late and I wanted to get this done and make sure I did it, I'm going to do the life update now while I'm organising my dinner, and then I'll go and do the stitching update once I've had my dinner. So the noise that you can hear in the background is the range hood. Obviously I need that on so that there's no steam, but it's a little bit noisy, so hopefully you can deal with that. So what am I having for dinner? Not very exciting. Craig's not going to be home till late because he's got caught up at work, so I'm having a couple of boiled eggs, some leftover kale that I cooked on Saturday night, a bit of cheese, and maybe a piece of fruit toast or something. Like, it's a real hodgepodge because, to be honest, I like cooking, but I just can't be bothered. It's 10 to 8 and I just want to relax. So, and I might put a bit of mayonnaise and curry powder on my eggs. It's just going to be really random. I've got my glass of wine left over from yesterday, the bottle, and it's a 6'6" Shiraz, a Geelong 6'6" Shiraz. So if you're around that region, it's all right. It was a bit peppery yesterday. I haven't tried it again tonight. It's mellowed a lot, actually. It's really nice now. It was very peppery yesterday when we opened it, but it's had 24 hours to air, and it's quite nice. So what's been happening? Saturday morning, so I planned on doing a weekly, my goal is to do a weekly stitching update, to keep things, to keep updating you guys, and I enjoy it. But sometimes, obviously, you guys understand, life gets in the way, and you just can't quite do it to that schedule. So you have to bear with me while I organise my dinner while I'm doing this. So the weekend ended up being super busy. Saturday we got up. I'm still doing my 5 a.m. Still trying to do my 5 a.m. club. Did it during the week. Friday morning I didn't do it. I didn't get up. I slept in on Friday morning, and then Saturday morning I was going to get up and go, and then I ended up getting up at 5:45 and then going to the gym at 7 o'clock, and then went down to the beach, sat on the sand, did my journaling and a little bit of meditation there. So it was about between 7 and 8. But it was really nice because I grabbed a coffee at one of our local coffee shops, and just went down there and had my coffee, did my journaling, did my meditation, and it was good because the sun was actually up, which was really nice. When you get down to the beach at 5 a.m. 6 or 5:30 in the morning, it's dark, so it was nice. It was nice to be down there, and there was lots of people with their dogs playing and that sort of thing. Then I came home, and we had to take Ranji to the vet because he's been throwing up a lot, and he's lost a lot of weight, and it's just gone on for long enough, and his ears were a bit funny, and I just had a feeling that his ears might have been contributing to it. And anyway, I just wanted to make sure he was all right. So he had a vet appointment at 10 to 11, so we went to our local, I got back from the beach, we went and picked up my mum, and we went to the local farmers market in Torquay, which is really, really good. There's so much good stuff there. Oh my God, for a minute there I thought that wasn't recording. Couldn't see the time on the bottom. So we went to our local farmers market in Torquay, got some fruit and veggies, got some fish for dinner. So our farmers market's like really, really great. I don't know if I probably mentioned it before, but it's like really good. It's got a butcher lady, it's got a knife man that sharpens your knives, it's got an organic fruit and veggie man, it's got the other fruit and veg man, it's got a cheese lady, it's got the walnut man that comes regularly, it's got my fish man, there's an elderly man that makes jam and sells jam and honey, there's the potato man that we always get like 2 kilos of potatoes from every week, and then there's a cake lady, there's the artesian baker, so he does like all different types of artesian breads and like donuts and croissants and cakes and all sorts of things. And there's the coffee man. It's not a big farmer's market, but it's really, really, really good. Then there's another man that started coming that does potatoes and pumpkins and stuff. And then this week there was a smoky man, so he does like smoked fish and that, like trout, and there was a jun, so kombucha, which is like a fermented probiotic drink. They were there selling stuff. It was a really, really good market this weekend. So we went to that, we went to that and we spent about an hour there. Got our fruit and veggies and then had a coffee, had something to eat, and then headed home. We were in a bit of a rush because then we had to take Ranji to the vet. So his vet appointment was at 10 to 11, so we had to be home by 10:30 at the latest to get him and get to the vet. We spent an hour at the vet. He had bloods done, he had his ears checked, he had some lumps checked to make sure, and they were just turned out they were just fatty lumps, which I thought they were, but we wanted to make sure. Because he's 15. I'll get him. Oh, yeah. So this is Ranji. Ranji's 15. Say hello. Oh, who's that? What can you see? And you can see his big shave spot here where he had his needle, the poor bugger. So he got poked and prodded, and he's now got, all of his bloods came back except a couple. They were able to test it while we were there. Meow. And most of them came back, they were all good or in the normal range. His kidney enzymes were in the normal range but a bit on the higher end. So we have to do a wee test, don't we? That's going to be fun. That's tomorrow. Tomorrow night he has to get put in a separate room with the litter tray away from the other cats and a special litter so we can collect his wee, which is a bit gross. But it's better than them trying to extract it with a needle. That's not. If we don't have to do that, then we'd rather not. And you had, what else did you have? So all your tests were good so we've just got to do the wee test and make sure that's good. You got a little bit of an infection in your ears, so he's now got twice daily ear drops and a twice week wash, which makes Ranji very upset. You got fleed, didn't you? What else did you do? You got wormed. What else happened? You got your lumps checked because you're 15. You got lots done. You got poked and prodded, and in the end, he was just sitting there going, oh my God, just whatever, just do it, just get away. So he's been a bit fragile for a couple of weeks because he normally weighs, I was really worried because he normally weighs 7.5, 7.8 kilos, like he's a really big cat. And just before we went away, Craig took him for a checkup in April and he was 7, which was well light enough for him. Like, I don't like him being any lighter. And then, or 6.9, and then when we went yesterday, he's dropped down to 5.9 kilos, which is a lot. So we're on a mission. And you had a cortisone shot to help your tummy, didn't you, as well? You had lots. So we're on we're all about making sure that we get him back on track, and he puts weight on. We fix up his ears. So we've got to wait for the last of the blood tests and then results, and then do a urine test. But he should be right. I think he's just got a sensitive tummy, and that's why he throws up all the time, and he can't tolerate the dried food. And then because he's being sick, he's not keeping his food down, and he's not putting on his weight, are you? Yeah. But we just want to make sure that there's no underlying problems. So we spent an hour at the vet, didn't we? And that was a bit traumatic. We all got home and we were all a bit exhausted. But then Craig had there's a winery near us called Lura Park, and they were having a big wine sale, and we went. We got there early, which was really lucky because we were there. We were like the second group to walk in. There was like some wines that were only like a dozen bottles, and we just like grabbed them all. And then there was the cases. So it had like Jack Rabbit Winery. There was another brand that I didn't recognise. You want to hop down? Got all your claws in my jumper. So we went to that, and Mum bought about 25 to 30 bottles, I think. And she paid, ended up being about $10 a bottle. And Craig and I did the same. And the wine that we bought retails about 25 to 30 bucks a bottle. So that was pretty good. So we did really well. You're holding on. Look at your claws in my arm. So we did that. So we were probably only there, by the time we bought the wine, and we got there early, we got there at like 10:02. By about 10 past, we were finishing up, 15:15, and all these people arrived, and it was chaos in there. I went and stood out of the way because I can't handle all that crazy sale energy. It's like too much. So I went and it's like hanging. I went and stood by the boxes where we had our boxes of wine that we bought. We got a couple of about a dozen or so Cab Shiraz. We got some Prosecco. We got sparkling Pinot Noir. Pinot, I think it was. I can't remember now. We got some Merlot for me because I like Merlot. And then there was a small Moscato type half bottle. But it didn't seem, I don't really drink sweet, but sometimes with dessert, it can be nice to have like a sweeter. I don't like super sweet like ports and stuff, but I like a sweeter white type dessert wine. So I got 4 of those little bottles. There was only 4 of them, so I grabbed them. So by the time we got out, we bought about 60 bottles of wine between us, but it was really, really good prices. So that was good. And then we came home. And then what happened after that? We stopped off at one of the local plant nurseries on the way that were near us called Van Loon's. And we just had lunch, had a snack. I got another seedling tray for my seeds that I'm starting. And that was all right. And then we got home, and then we had some quiet time. I think I had a lie down. I was really tired at that point. Do you want to hop down? And then my mum came around, and we had fish for dinner. We got fish from the market. We made dinner, and then that was it. I was in bed pretty early because I'd been up pretty early. I was a bit tired. And then Sunday morning, I slept in. We got out, went to the supermarket. I potted around. And then it was Father's Day. So Craig's family came down yesterday. Everyone was here by 12:30. So we dashed up the street at like 12 o'clock, and we were up the street, and my mum's ringing us going, "Where are you? You're supposed to be here." And we're like, "Oh my God." So we did that, and then so by the time we did that, everyone left at like just draining my eggs. Everyone left at like 6 o'clock. And we were buggered by that stage because we had, like, I didn't drink a lot, but we had like a couple of wines. And then we went to bed. So Craig's family came down and my mum came over. And we just went down to just walked up the street to the local fish and chip shop and grabbed fish and chips. And then went down to the beach. But yesterday was really cool because it was the first day of spring, but we had like spring storms come through. So if you follow my Instagram, I posted some photos on there. My Instagram account's The Simple Stitcher. It's exactly the same as my YouTube name. And so we had all these storms sweep through with thunder and lightning, but it wasn't cold. So we sat out. We were going to eat the fish and chips on the beach, but we ended up eating them. We ended up eating the fish and chips at the fish and chip shop. And then walking down to the beach and spending some time down there for a little while. Got our feet wet, had a paddle, and the kids had a play in the water. Craig's sister took lots of photos because she loved the backdrop and it was pretty spectacular. It was pretty cool being down there. And when we were eating lunch, like all across just on the back of the shops and all of that was all the thunder and lightning and that. And it was pretty awesome. So by the time we did that, and then everyone left, and we went, and then I pretty much went out and had some quiet time, read my book, and went to bed. So, you know, no time for stitching. And I didn't get any time to do any video, so I thought I'd just pop on now and do the update. So my dinner's basically ready, as hard as it was to boil a couple of eggs and heat up some kale in the microwave. I'm going to chuck the other bits on my plate. And then I'm going to go upstairs and just do a little update with my stitching and a couple of stitching things, and so I'll see you soon. Okay, bye. Okay, welcome back. It's been it's 8:30, about 8:30. I've had my dinner, my weird dinner, but it's done. Craig's still not home yet, so he'll probably won't be home for about another hour or hour and a half or so at least. So this is the stitching part of the update. So thank you for hanging around if you've watched from the start, and if you're just tuned in for this part, welcome. So I basically only worked on 2 projects. I haven't had the time to work on any more than that. The first project that I worked on was the main project that I worked on was my chatelaine, my macrame mandala, which I've been doing the tutorials on, which I'm going to do another one on. I intended, oh Jesus Christ, I've got to watch that. I've got a glass of wine here, which I intended to have another tutorial up today or Wednesday, but maybe if I get one done tomorrow, it might go up Wednesday, but yeah, I think that's going to be next week, but I have another tutorial planned on doing this, so stay tuned for that. It's just when I get the time to upload it. But I did some more work on this. The lighting's not the best. Not sure if that will help. Does that make it better or worse? I think that makes it worse. Maybe it makes it better because it's so late here. So what I worked on was, so as you know, I had the problem with the count with the silver. So I put the silver, added the extra stitch, put the wildflower, pearl cotton type thing in here. And then I went through and I put in the rest of the purple blocks and filled in the white and the purple in there. So not a huge amount, but it sets me up. So the next thing that I'll do is put in the blue trim, and then I'll come back and I'll do these little eyelets that are here and these specialty stitches, and then I can build this part of the corner and then start. That gives me the starting point easily for the next bit. So that's where I'm at with my chatelaine. Got that much done and I'm loving it. I found a new enjoyment for it. Sorry, oh, look at all that cat hair all over my top. That's from holding Ranji. The trials of wearing black, which I wear a lot of, and having a cat, even a ginger cat, is yeah, you end up with cat fur all over you, everything. Okay. So yeah, so I was saying I found stitching on is hard going. I think because I got overwhelmed by the difficulty of it and like the complexity and having to decipher the chart and work out what I need to do, which is one reason why I wanted to do why I'm doing the tutorials, because there's times where they feel really hard to do and they're so enjoyable and they are so incredibly beautiful that if I can work it out, you know, and I'm not necessarily doing it the right way, it's just what I've worked out looking at other people's photos that have done them, or reading the instructions, or doing a few steps and then sort of starting to get a feel for it and then Googling what some of the specialty stitches are. And it's just problem solving, but it does get tiring and I did get a little bit overwhelmed by it for quite a while, particularly because I was pretty time poor. But now I'm just leaving it on, like I've left it on the frame, which I already had, but now I'm just leaving it on my stand and out. And then if I get a half an hour or something, then I put in a few stitches and it's keeping me motivated. So I'm making a little bit of progress on it, which is really good because I spent so much money on the kit. The finished piece is going to be absolutely stunning. So, you know, I want to keep progressing on it. I don't want it sitting around doing nothing. So that's really good. The other thing that I worked on, or I was going to work on, I can't remember where I was at in the last video, was my little Just Nan gingerbread reindeer mouse. So this is what he's going to look like when he's finished. And this is what I was done. And I went to put in the white, the next stage of it, and I realized my count's out. Ugh. So the brown is good, the nose is good, but the red, there's a little there's some extra stitches in here, which, because I didn't mark off the chart, like I normally mark off the chart, but because I was being lazy and I just did it, I didn't photocopy it. I don't like to mark my original charts. So my working copy is always a photocopy, or I take a photo and scan it on my iPad. But because I didn't photocopy it, or take a picture and put it on my iPad and then mark off the chart, I misread the chart. I didn't read it properly. So it lined up, but it should basically be, these line up, but that's because it's even, and then, but it should be further down. So I'm going to just rip out the red, and rip it out and then come back to it and get it stitched back in and not worry about it. But as you can see, I started putting in the white and then realized that I was out because it wasn't lining up. So, but I love the fabric. I love the way the colors are turning out on this. Yeah, it's really, really super cute. So that's the other little bit of stitching that's had my attention. But there's some work to be done on that. But this fabric is just gorgeous. I love the gingery brown. It's just beautiful, beautiful fabric. So I'm going to rip that out. So that's the stitching that I've been working on. I'm going to continue working on my chatelaine and that, I think, for the next week. I obviously I want to do a tutorial when I can and get some more progress on that. And this won't take very long. These don't take very long at all. So I want to get this one done. Because I need to start making my way through some of my Just Nans because there's more I want to order. But if I haven't been stitching the other ones, I'm like, why am I going to order them? I shouldn't be ordering them. Anyway, although I know a lot of you, and I've done it plenty of times, will just buy it all anyway, but I'm trying to be careful with my stash and my money. So I want to get through some before I buy some more. Anyway, so that leads me into the comment of the week and questions. So comment of the week this week was from Sally. Sally said, I love you, Chatelaine. I could never get along with doing French knots, so I changed to colonial knots, which are easy and I love doing them. Maybe too late for your project now, but well worth a look for future ones. Sally, kiss. No, I'm going to be checking out, Sally, the colonial knots. I haven't had a chance to do it yet, so thank you so much for your suggestion. And I'm going to be looking at doing them on my Chatelaine. I'm not fussed. Like, I've done about half of the French knots, but they don't look that great and they're a bit small and pissy and like whatever. So I'm going to look up how to do colonial knots, and then I'm going to give it a go on the next section of the meadow that I've done. And if they look better, then I'll just rip out the other French knots that I've done and redo them, because I'm not that excited about them, and there's not that many that I can't go back and just rip them out. I don't think it'll cause me any problems, and put in the new ones. So I'm just looking at my Chatelaine, which is just here because my camera is sitting on my Monarch stand and then my Chatelane's just below it. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah, thank you very much for the suggestion, Sally. I will be investigating colonial knots probably next weekend, and then I'll be having a crack at putting them in that next section of the meadow, and seeing if they if I can do them and they look better, and then I'll be doing it. So thank you very much. Then I had a question from J. I can't say her YouTube name. So she said, I hope that the 5 a.m. club plan works for you, so you're less stressed. What is the name of the app you're using? Your Chatelaine is gorgeous, by the way. So thank you. Thank you very much for that comment. And I replied to her at the time, but just in case anyone else didn't get that information in my last video, and I'll link them below, the two apps that I mentioned in last week's video. I wasn't sure with her question, and she made a comment about that, which one she was talking about. But the time management one that I'm using is called Rooster on iTunes, and it's basically just basically a really simple way of creating diary entries. Like it ends up being like a running column, and you just put in, you create an entry and you put in the title of whatever it is, the start time, the duration, and then you can add notes or whatever. But I basically just fill in the title. So it might be like, you can do tasks, but I use events because I can allocate a time period to it, and it's quick and easy. So I'm allocating time blocks. So I might say I might say 8:30 meditation, and I put in meditation, select the time 8:30 p.m. and then I put in 30 minutes, and then it's in. And then what it does is it gives me little blocks of time where I can allocate. So 8 till 8:30, I'm allocating some time for stitching. Obviously tonight it didn't work out like that because I didn't get home till 20 to 8, something like that, 7:30. And then by the time I fed the animals, sorted the cats and the dog, and then it was like 10 to 9, I started to do my dinner, and I finished dinner at 8:30. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I was a little bit worried that I would get overwhelmed and feel too constricted, but I don't load it up with too much stuff. And I think that's the key. blocking time, it gives me the option to see, I can plan things out instead of just going, oh, I've got no time, I'm just going to sit and watch TV. I'm like, oh no, but I've got a half an hour block there that I could use for stitching. Or I've got half an hour, I can use that for meditation. Like, that's heaps of time for meditation or something. Or like my crafting time, 8 to 8:30, I can call it stitching, but it can be anything that's like relaxation or something like that. Like, it might be read a book. Like, I can just, like, it could just be me time. And so half an hour was blocked out for me to just sit and do whatever I felt like for that half an hour. If it's watch TV, it's watch TV. If it's read a book, it's read a book. If it's do a bit of stitching, do a stitching. Or if it's do a video, if I want to, then do a video sort of thing. And it's helped me, it's helping me to find a little bit of a flow, see how much time I've got, and then find a little bit of a flow by getting into a routine. But I'm trying not to overfill it. So I get home from work and I might do a little job to keep, so I don't have to do all my housework on the weekend. I sit down and I have dinner. I cook dinner with Craig, or he's got dinner going while I do a little bit of housework. Like, I have an hour with him, and then I spend half an hour having a read or doing some craft and getting some progress on my stitching. And then at 8:30 I'm in bed and I do some meditation, which sets me up to go to sleep. So my meditation before I go to sleep sets me up so that then when I turn out the light at 9 o'clock, which is really early for a lot of people, but if I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym, I have to be lights out at night. I have to have at least 8 hours sleep. So then it sets me up so at 9 o'clock when I switch off the light to go to sleep, then I go to sleep really quickly and really easily because I've already relaxed and unwound. Now tonight, it's 8:45. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But anyway, so that's the app that I use for that, is Rooster. And then the 5 a.m. club app is called 5 a.m. Club. If you want to start doing the 66-day challenge and get the little meditations and lessons that are in that, that's called, if you search 5 a.m. Club on there, that's that. And I'll link that one below as well. So the last thing that I wanted to mention in today's video was a little Instagram tag that I was tagged in. Ada Stitches posted it on her channel and said, and basically if you respond to her, it's all about expanding your your Instagram community and finding new Instagrammers to follow. And I thought it was a wonderful idea. So I responded to her and said, ooh, include me. And then she sent me the tag. Oh, not the tag. That's stupid. She sent me the details. And so I put a post on my Instagram account, The Simple Stitcher, and tagged her. And then basically, if you respond to the post and say in some way, then I will go onto your Instagram account, pick a photo that I like from your stitching, and then post that to my story and promote your Instagram account. And then I send the details of the sort of the little chain onto you, and then you go and do the same thing. So then you post it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can hop onto my Instagram account, The Simple Stitcher, and respond to the post or the story, and I will pop on and pick one of your stitching photos and post that on my story, and then hopefully you'll get some more. We'll just promote, it's just promoting the different Instagrammers, so we've got more people to follow. So it's been really good. I've found some great new Instagrammers already, and I've been adding people and following more people, and it's really great. So pop on over and check that out if you're interested. So that's all I've got to talk about tonight. It ended up being longer than I expected, but if you want, thank you for joining me. If you want a chance to be comment of the week next week, or if you've got any questions or comments just generally, Don't forget to post them down below in the comments. If you like the video, please tick the like box because that really helps me out. It helps me get more awareness of my channel. And don't forget to subscribe so that you hear about any new videos that I've got coming up. I hope you're having a wonderful evening and I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye.